Hello friends, my name is Jan and welcome to Hoop It Up with Jan. Today is February the 25th of 2024 and this is my Flosstube number 10. I have gotten into double digits. That's exciting. So it's hadn't been too long since I recorded the last time. I'm trying to be on a every 2-week schedule. Gets a little hard, but I think it's a good time frame. I just want to make sure I get enough stitching in between times to share, to make it worthwhile for your time. So let's see what's been going on here in the last couple of weeks. Yesterday, my youngest son helped me. I'm so excited. I got the new Starlink internet. I live in a rural area, and my only real good the best option I had for high-speed internet was a wireless antenna, and it serves its purpose, but for upload speeds and stuff like that, I would have to go to Starbucks or somewhere to upload my videos, and so I'm just hoping that this is a better option that I can use here at home. I do work from home, so I do need to have a reliable high-speed internet here at home, so I'm hoping that helps with that. So fingers crossed. Did a speed test yesterday on it and it was almost 20 times faster, so that should be pretty good. So I'm excited about that. Let's see. Last week, me and my mom and my daughter-in-law and some friends went and played bingo at the VFW here, and that was a lot of fun. We might make that a fairly regular thing that we go do. That was a lot of fun, lots of laughs, and it was just fun to play. I used to go and play bingo all the time with my sister-in-law, and when our kids were little, her grandmother would watch our kids for a couple hours and we'd go play bingo, and that was fun. It brought back a lot of good memories, so that was cool. I found a YouTube channel that I have been enjoying this past week. His name is Doc Compton, and it's funny. It's a live video. It's a live YouTube, and what he's doing is messing with scammers and calling on the phone and just wasting their time so that they, using up the time that it would take them to be scamming other people. So it's a hoot. It's fun to watch. I laughed so hard. Anyway, I've enjoyed that. And so yesterday, normally I don't answer my phone unless, I recognize a number or it's in my contacts, and I figure if they really need me, they'll leave a voicemail and I can call them right back. But yesterday when right after we had activated the Starlink account, my phone rang with a no caller ID, and I was like, well, what if it's them? What if it's Starlink confirming my activation or something? And so I answered it. And, it was someone on the other line. They say, hey, how are you? Do you know who this is? And I'm like, the name it was a male voice. The voice sounded like, if I forced it, it could sound like somebody I knew, but I just wasn't sure. And so I'm like, is this so-and-so? And they're like, I was like, who is it? He said, it's your nephew. And I'm like, I do have a nephew that I talk to quite frequently, and it kind of sounded like him, but it didn't. And he's like, hey, can I talk to you? I, just need someone to talk to. And I said, well, I'm kind of in the middle of something. Can I call you back? And he said, well, problem is I'm using someone else's phone right now. And so that made me kind of scared that my nephew was having some problems. So I said, sure, let me go in a different room and we'll talk. And so I sat down and I said, so what's going on? What's the matter? And he goes, well, I'm just not feeling myself these days. And I said, well, what's up? What's going on? He said, just not feeling myself these days. Does that ever happen to you? And I said, well, first of all, he never really said his name. And so I said, first of all, I just kind of want to confirm who I'm talking to. And he got mad and hung up. And so I just want to remind people that after watching this YouTube that I've been watching this past week, and it's all about scamming, and I just want to remind people to be cautious. I'm sure this person that was calling me was just, pranking me or something, but you never know what kind of information they're looking for. So just be cautious, when you're on the phone or on your computers, online, just to be careful. And when you receive an email, saying that, your PayPal account has been locked, or your PayPal account has been charged for some antivirus, or, whatever. Just be cautious. 9 out of 10 times, it's going to be a scam. And just don't click on links that you didn't ask for. Because people are going to be, loading malware and, phishing for your personal information, and then you'll just be in all kinds of chaos. So anyway, just be cautious of that. Just a reminder. Okay, so enough of that. Let's get into talking about some Flosstubes I've been watching. Potty Mouth Stitcher. She is funny, and I really enjoy her personality. I enjoy the stuff that she stitches. She's recently been organizing her flosses on the Annie's Keepers, and she has a method in which she's fixing to try on kitting up her kits, and I just found it very interesting, and so I want to watch that, because if you know me, I go back and forth on different ways to organize my floss, and I go back and forth from bobbinating to floss drops and whatnot, and so I'm just going to keep an eye on what she's doing for that and see how that turns out, and maybe I'll adopt part of that. Another person I thought I might mention is Amy Loves Toads. She's been around for a while. She has quite a following. So you may have already heard about her, but she stitches a lot of animals, and she's a lot like me with the things I like to stitch. I like to stitch samplers, but I also like to do full coverage and animals and wilderness and just, things like that. So she might be interesting for you to watch. And one other is, I believe her name is Kaylee. It is So What Stitcher. She hasn't posted a lot recently, but she did recently post. She published a new cross-stitch diary, and so go check that out and find out how to buy that. Buy that if you're interested and you're looking for a way to memorialize. I can't think of the word. Anyway, if you're looking for a way to track your stitches like a journal. Okay, so that's the Flosstubes I've been watching. And in my last video, I was sharing some previous stitches and mentioning, that I love the Native American subject matter in my stitches. And I left out one. I missed one that was in my box. And so I wanted to, dropped him. I wanted to follow up with that and show y'all this one real quick. And I don't remember the name of this one. It's a full coverage, and I believe, I don't know the count of this fabric. It's a linen, maybe a 32 or 36, I'm not real sure. But I did it 1/1 full cross. It's DMC flosses. But if you recognize this chart, if you could put a comment, let me know if you recognize it. I'd appreciate that so I can document that. And so I know. I looked online right before I started recording, but I couldn't find anything. But I'll keep looking. But it's just the detail. Look at his face. And his hands. And he is just very having trouble with words again, but not majestic, but just, you can tell he has earned the respect of his people, and just very wise. You can see it in his face and his eyes. So yeah, that. I finished that a long time ago, probably early 2000s, late 90s, something like that. Okay, what have I been stitching? I started, I've worked on 3 things since the last time we visited. And I started on the 13th, I believe. I started Blackbird Designs Yellow Submarine. It is number 5 in the Magical Mystery Tour from the Beatles. And I started this on a sal. There's actually 2 sals going right now with the Magical Mystery Tour patterns. There's one that Stitching with the Globe and Julie and Stitches are hosting, which is hashtag Fab for Fan Sal. And also one that is hashtag bbdmagicalmysterysal that Sarah from Sarah Stitchy Spot and Peg. I don't know. Go watch Sarah Stitchy Spot to find out the details of that if you're interested. So, but let's see. What have I done with this? This is stitched on 40 Count Dragonfly by XG Designs. And I just pulled flosses from my stash that look, you know, were similar to what the chart called for. And this is the tail of the submarine coming in. And it's a very, and this is the, what do you call those? The scopes that go up out of the water. So a lot of fun with that. So this will be my 3rd piece. I think I showed last week the other 2 that I have finished on that series is excuse me, Octopus's Garden and Strawberry Fields Forever. So this will be the 3rd one. And I have all the charts for that series. So I plan to do them all. So that is Yellow Submarine. Oh, and I have this week, well, since the last Flosstube, I have stitched 2,174 stitches in this. It's funny because when they're all spread out like that, it doesn't look like that many. So that is Yellow Submarine by Blackbird Designs. I have my floss in one of these little keeper things. I bought this on an Etsy shop. I'm not sure which one. Bought it a while back. Okay, next. I have worked on Three Eagles by Austin Thread Crafts. I am stitching that on a 25 count black Lugana 1/1 using the called for. My setup, I keep going out of frame. I did that last week, or last video. Using the called for DMCs. And here he is. And when I first started, my first thought on doing this was I wasn't going to stitch the black in the background, except for where I was going to have to kind of figure out in his hair. I felt like I needed to stitch some of it because this just looks weird out here. It's only stitches. And it just, you know, that's part of his hair. And then the rest of this is all black. And I just thought that looked weird. And so I thought I would, you know, be stitching some of the black and kind of feather it down like his hair. But I just decided I like the texture and the starkness maybe of the black stitches. So I've decided to go ahead and stitch all that, which is going to take a little longer, but that's okay as long as it is, you know. So this, I stitched all that. I stitched this. You can see a line right here, but I think it's only because these stitches have been in longer and that floss is a little, you know how it kind of gets dusty. Or I think once I finish it and maybe soak it in some water, that all that will kind of that line will disappear. So he's another one that, this might be the same guy and that other, the one I just showed you. I don't know. Looks a lot alike. But I just love to stitch people's faces, and especially when they, older people. I just love the details. That come with age. So that is 3 eagles. And it's in the bobbins. That's all the flosses for that. I have a couple of bobbins over there that, well, I just dumped some of them out on the floor. I'll pick those up in a little bit. Oh, Lordy. So there's a couple of skeins over there, the 310 and the 3371 I didn't put away. I need to get those put back in there. Oh, and I'm not gonna, the stitches that I marked off for all that, that I added to this, anyway, the stitch count that I loaded, that I have right now, inaccurate for this time around because of all the black that, that I had marked a stitch that wasn't actually stitched, and then now I had to undo all that and then mark where I had stitched. Anyway, all the stitch counts in my markup XP aren't accurate, so I'm not even going to give that information this time around. Next time around, it should be good. We should be good to go. But I think I'm about, I think I'm about 65% done on him. So, the last thing I worked on not only do my words not work, neither do my fingers. The Native American Hummingbird Maiden by Joan Elliott. There's also a book that this is in that I had originally bought the book, but it was a color chart, and some of the stitches were notated with just the with a color and not a symbol. And Markup XP is the program I like to scan and put my charts in, and it didn't like, I was having a lot of trouble getting the correct color assigned for each stitch. And so I contacted Joan Elliott and asked her if she had a black and white version, and she did. And so she gave me a discount on that since I already had the book, but I bought that so that I could get it in the Markup XP. Here is where I am with her. I'm not used to using this board. I like it because I can hold it up better, but I keep forgetting that I have it. Gotta get used to stuff. Let's see. Here she is. This is on a 28 count linen in the color Shiloh by Needle and Flax. And I'm doing 2/2. Because there's beads and stuff in this, so I needed to stay to the appropriate size of stitch for those. But I just really enjoy when I'm usually doing like 40 count or 46 count, you know, that's one floss, but I'm really enjoying seeing the actual texture of the stitches on this one. So I like to not get pigeonholed into one size of fabric, because it's every different size and type has its own characteristics that make it different and beautiful from the others. So I would say that my favorite is 40 count, but you know, I do like to stitch on Ada. I like to stitch on higher counts, lower counts, perforated paper. You know, I like to keep it with the variety. So there's the flosses. DMC called for. And it's fun. I just like the geometric shapes in her cape, her wardrobe, and I can't wait to get up to her face. So that's a fun one. And those are my WIPs. So let's see, what am I going to talk about next? I've done this both ways. I've done notes and I've done, well, I guess you'd call it improv. And I think the notes work better for me because, you know, I keep leaving things out, and I'll turn everything off and go, ah, forgot to do such and such. And so I'm going to try to start using notes better. And so let's talk about my plans for next week, or next couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. Now, I did this last week. These are just the things that I have pulled out of my WIPs that are kind of calling to me right now. And I'm trying to spread the love across my WIPs, but yet get good time on them, so that I like to switch up, but I also like to see big progress. So I feel like if I, you know, focus on a handful of things between each floss tube, then y'all will get variety, but yet I will get progress on that handful of things. Now, I told you last week that I thought I would work on this, our last floss tube, and I didn't. So this will, I plan on working on this today. And this is The Owl by Andriana. And it is a kit. And that's where I'm at, working down there in his tail. I think what I plan to do is come down here and finish the rest of this side of the tail, and then maybe work on up to get his eyes done. I like to look at their eyes while I'm working on them. Oh, I don't know why I'm showing all this, because I haven't worked on it. I just wanted to show you my plans. I'm not going to show y'all all the pieces that I plan on working on them until I work on them. So I don't know why I was showing that. Anyway, I plan on working on the owl. Oh my goodness. Another one I want to work on is The Wolf by Dimensions Gold Collection Petite. So I'd like to work on that. I would like to work on the village of Hawkrun Hollow. I think I have done this. So maybe I'll come up. I think I finished these 3. So maybe I'll come up and do this one. And then I want to work on and possibly finish so I can get this FFO'd. Lucky Enough Matilda. I'm finally a farm girl. I want to get her done for March. And I moved my tree over here so y'all could see it better, because it was on this side and I couldn't fit it in. So there's the one I showed y'all that I recently finished. That's the Valentine one. So I just want to fill that up with ornaments, and I don't care if they're seasonal. I just want to, they'll stay up there year round. Just want to fill it up. Then I want to get some stitches into this one. Horses in the Surf by Stitching Jewel Designs. If you like monochromatic, go check out her website. She's got some really cool designs out there. She's got a few that has color too, but most of them are monochromatic. And then I want to work on, I don't know who I think I am going to be working on this many projects next week, but I just wanted to give myself a variety in case something wasn't calling to me. So this is just my intentions for the next couple of weeks. To work on the letter J by GGR. And so that is my intentions, plans, whatever you want to call them. I could get bit by a different bug tonight when I sit down to stitch. You never know. And then some haul real quick. This will be a quick video for me. When Needle and Flax, Rachel is going to be dyeing a certain color. She will post in her Instagram that she's fixing to post pre-orders on her website. And I am a faithful, loyal customer of hers, and I love her fabric. And so if I don't have the color that she's fixing to dye, I will go and pre-order, usually a fat half, because I don't know what I'm going to use it for, and I like to have options, and I like to have the different linens on hand so that when I get the urge to start something, I can. And so this is Hemingway 40 count by Needle and Flax. And it's looking the modeling in person is a little more blended. It's not quite so splotchy, but yet it is splotchy, so it's hard to explain. But it's beautiful. Her fabric, she has a touch, I tell you what. Her and XG Designs. I love the way XG Designs has a really nice smell. I don't know if she sprays something on it or what, but it smells really good when you open the package. Then one of my, not a unicorn, but I like to collect Blackbird charts. They're charts that even after I've stitched the item, I will probably keep the chart because I like collecting the charts. And but any other chart, that and Birds of a Feather, but anybody else's charts, once I've stitched them, I don't mind passing them on or whatever. But I found this on eBay at a reasonable price. And I was watching Cross Stitch the Globe the other day. I think I mentioned them every video. But I enjoy them. And they offer information. They go out and do research and share what they've learned. And they were Stephanie. Keep calling Stephanie Ellison, but Stephanie buys a lot on eBay, and so she was showing how to go and research, you know, what people have paid for something in the past. And so I did that on this one, and I came in below average, so I felt good about that. So that, I think, wraps it up. But shoot, my computer died, so let me check I keep my notes in Notions, so I can look them up from my phone, I can look them up on my computer, I can look them up on my iPad. So let's see. I did my haul. I did my finishes. Oh, on the Native American Hummingbird Maiden, I got in 1,427 stitches since the last floss tube. So I think that is all. Yeah. So yeah, I just want to say thank y'all for watching. If you enjoy what I have to share, I would invite you to subscribe. I enjoy sharing my floss tube or my cross stitches, and so yeah, if you could subscribe and like, it would help me get out in front of more people that might enjoy what I have to share. So if you could do that, I would appreciate that. And also remember to stay safe out online, like I mentioned before. And but until the next time, stitch what you love and love what you stitch, and have a good couple of weeks. Bye-bye.